No creatures or features in this game are unusual for an open-world action-adventure game, but all of them put together make a unique blend never before seen. There is no other game like Crimson Desert in existence at the moment, but if you liked certain aspects of it, there's plenty of fish in the vast sea of games used as inspiration for this ultimate game cocktail. Even after almost 15 years after its release, players are still returning to the world of Tamriel. In Skyrim, much like in Crimson Desert, you have the freedom to explore as well as plenty of time. My sweet, plenty of time. The open world size with an added freedom to explore equals a sense of novelty and discovery which is present in both games. Another thing they share is the quality of storytelling. Skyrim's lore and world building, however, are intentional and still hold up. Every game aspect is built on top of the other in a well thought out manner, and they fit together perfectly as if they're puzzle pieces, something Skyrim doesn't share with Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert throws a never-ending amount of content at us, and its side quests are no exception. The Witcher set the standard when it comes to open-world action-adventure RPGs, and it's no shocker we can find its traces in a game unwilling to decide on a genre and setting. We can even see some of Geralt in Cliff. The White Wolf's jaded demeanor copied onto Cliff makes him feel like he has a personality. For the incredible depth of lore, Wild Hunt has many novels to thank for. With over 60 million copies sold and among the most awarded games of all time, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt still holds the records in our hearts. If Crimson Desert came out 10 years ago and was an MMO, it would have been called Black Desert Online. Crimson Desert was originally envisioned as a prequel to Black Desert and was designed to be an MMO. This explains very similar aesthetics, familiar combat mechanics, and that very special throw everything in essence in a vast world never lacking side quests. Eventually, it evolved into its own thing, different universe, different IP, different name. Only if you're missing the social aspect of an online multiplayer game. Did you know that Crimson Desert is not, in fact, a Legend of Zelda sequel? In The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Link can use his Ultra Hand to manipulate inanimate objects. Cliff can use his Axiom Force to manipulate inanimate objects. Sky Islands are a network of landmasses floating above Hyrule. Abyss Temples are a network of landmasses floating above Pywell. Shrines become fast travel points once you unlock them by completing their challenges that are mostly puzzles. Well, you know the rest. Crimson Desert uses Zelda as its skeleton, but lacks heart and soul. It may look the same on the surface, but the lore and the history of Hyrule is full of meaning. You're part of a fellowship working on rebuilding itself after a situation gone foul. Sharing a gargantuan amount of side content doesn't seem enough to justify this game being on the list, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is mentioned only to make Crimson Desert look good when it comes to its map size. But does bigger also mean better? RDR2's advantage lies in real-life inspired setting and theme, while CD's fantasy aspect serves as an excuse to do whatever. Both games are immersive in different ways. RDR2 understands that realism means following established world rules, not mimicking the real world. CD does better rivers, we'll give them that, but RDR2's story is its main redeemable quality. You heard it all before. Huge open world, exploration, combat similarities. With Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you also get medieval fantasy sprinkled with a little bit of sci-fi. Combat shares a similar feel at times as well. Every element in Valhalla works with and for another. Similar as with RDR2, Valhalla's theme is its advantage, combined with more focus on storytelling, and we might be a little biased here because we especially love the soundtrack, makes for a winner in quality rather than quantity. Another history lesson, this time 13th century Japan. When it comes to Ghost of Tsushima, we'll stop talking about large open worlds, exploration, and combat comparisons. Let's talk environmental storytelling, or how the environment design helps tell the story. The Crimson Desert region is only one part of the game's map, a dangerous wasteland containing endgame content and final lore reveals. The northernmost part of the island of Tsushima, Kamiagata, while a polar opposite, serves the same purpose. Ghost of Tsushima is for players who know what they want. Also, there's a Kurosawa mode which turns the game to black and white, adds film grain, and tweaks audio. Co-written by George R.R. Martin, you might have heard of him, Elden Ring stands as a masterclass in world building, story, gameplay, and visuals. If you especially enjoyed Crimson Desert's Crimson Desert Lands and are desperately craving some good writing, challenge your skills in these much darker, post-apocalyptic realms of the land between. Beating Elden Ring is one heck of a flex on your CV. Possibly the most similar to Crimson Desert out of all the games on this list, Dragon's Dogma 2 shares similar setting, gameplay, and the type of world building and exploration. Combat also utilizes grabbing enemies, but our personal favorite is climbing enemies. If you finished CD, or if you only heard about it and want to spend less money on a similar game with less content but more focus, definitely choose DD2. And now for a fresh Crimson dessert. Who can guess what game we saved for last? When Crimson Desert got released, Where Winds Meet was already the boss of a little bit of everything and complex combat system. But you know why you should play it? Because it's free. Both are open world action adventure sandbox games. One is wuxia and Chinese history inspired, the other medieval fantasy. One map size is about 120 square kilometers or about 46 miles big. The other is still growing. One is very aesthetic cosmetic gacha, the other is all the aesthetics. One soundtrack is epic Chinese traditional, the other generic fantasy. One lets you learn a skill through observing, the other lets you learn a skill through observing. One is apple, the other is orange. Are you an apple or an orange person? Dragons, Sky Islands, flying, fishing, cooking, dinosaurs, mecha, collecting cat armor, initiating Project Crimson Desert.